Hello, welcome to the Off Studio. I am your host for today, Jay Choi, and I am not joined by Nate Rasa. And essentially today I'm going to be talking about what it's like as an NE Dom having inferior SI. Because basically, like, SI, if you know, like, a lot of the stereotypes about it, it's like very, it's a lot about like routine, it's about processing information, reprocessing information, it's about storing information. There's a lot of things that are incorporated with SI, but of course there's like the more stereotypical things. But like I'm sure if you know even like the basics about cognitive functions, you know that like once SI is in your inferior spot, it means that you're kind of bad at doing the SI things. So as an NE Dom, that means I have inferior SI. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about that and like being a college student and like the ways that I tried to maybe trick myself into being able to do stuff better as someone with inferior SI, as someone who is, I guess, maybe more prone to be disorganized or not as, like, dependable, I guess, not as consistent. So essentially, like, when I first got to college, like, I didn't really know how to keep a proper routine at that point. This fall, I'm a rising senior, so now I've been in college for about 3 years or so. So for me, a big part of me trying to figure out how to utilize my SI for school has been like trying to find a balance between my NE and my SI. So the way that I kind of ended up going about this was like I made a very detailed like calendar system on Google Calendar where essentially like I schedule out everything. But the way that I do is I schedule things out in time blocks, and then if the circumstances change, then I actually like, so like let's say I have my schedule for the day. At the end of the day, if I didn't actually follow my schedule the way that I wrote it, I actually change it throughout the day, like to what I actually did. Because like the most important part, like okay, for example, like you know when you start budgeting, people say for the first month, instead of like budgeting, just have a month where you keep track of all the spending you do so that you have a starting point so you know where to go from there. So that's kind of like the concept that I pulled for like my scheduling. First, I need to know where I spend all my time so I can figure out what to do with my time from then on. And again, as an Enneagram Type 3, I want to be highly productive. I want to always be producing. I want to be doing stuff. I want to be accomplishing stuff, you know? So like, I feel like that really helped motivate me to try to figure out how to like I guess harness my SI. So what I do is like again, I was saying there's the balance between SI and NE. So instead of being like I made this schedule, I have to follow the schedule. Instead of being like that, it's more of like I have the schedule because I know that I have stuff I need to get done and like I know how much time things will usually take me to do. So then I don't actually write specifically. Actually, sometimes I do. I take that back. Okay. But basically like what I do is I also have time where I'm like scheduled to have free time. So in that time, I don't say what I'm doing for my free time. You know, I just like, I'm saying, hey, this time is mine. And, you know, like maybe I could read, maybe I could do something else, you know, whatever. But I think a big part of it also is the fact that I'm not like my calendar, my schedule doesn't like tell me the stuff I need to do. Like as in like it's like a guideline for what I should do. And the fact is, as an NE Dom, the thing I like about my scheduling system is that it's always free to change. Like I can always change it, you know? If someone's like, hey, like, do you want to eat with me? Then I realize, oh, I can't just have the 30-minute block. It needs to be an hour block. But instead of being like, sorry, I can't. I scheduled my eating here for 30 minutes only. You know, like instead of that, like I like I'm like, oh, this assignment, honestly, I could probably do a little bit of this, or like I was getting ahead, so maybe I won't get ahead in a certain thing. I could adjust the schedule, and like Google Calendar makes it super easy. I wish I was sponsored, honestly, but I am not. But anyway, yeah, that's just like kind of a little bit of it that I just wanted to talk about. But yeah, like I'm curious though about like your guys' ways and strategies in which you keep yourself motivated or productive and like doing things without being as distracted. I could also talk about the Pomodoro method maybe in some of my videos, but we'll see. But yeah, I want to know about your success tips as well because I want to have a plethora of ideas and things to try out. So yeah, thank you for joining me on this episode of the Off Studio, and I will see you on the next one. Goodbye.